Hello and welcome to EV Focus now. And wow, it's been a couple of interesting 3 weeks um, since I last was on. I apologize, I've been so busy with so many other things and wasn't able to make any new content. Now I have some time, thank goodness, and it's so much to talk about. Obviously, with a couple of new EVs coming out in the last 2 weeks and Tesla's Battery Day, there's quite a bit of news out there in the EV world. But today we're going to talk about integrated batteries versus module batteries. So the last 2 weeks we had a lot of info on new EVs, of course, as I mentioned, in battery development with Tesla Battery Day. Today I want to tackle the idea of having batteries integrated as part of a car's structure like Tesla's planning in the future, or a concept of batteries being module, which allows for adding additional battery packs for extended range. Having batteries as part of the structure saves space and makes the car more durable. But does it also make the car more expensive to insure due to the fact that maybe a really bad accident could damage the battery's integrity into the structure? If the structure is damaged somehow, the battery could be damaged. I assume not, as Tesla pays their engineers top dollar to create these cars, and I'm sure they thought of ways and procedures to put in place that this will not happen. But bad accidents do happen sometimes. I think Tesla battery technology is great news and will force all automakers to convert or be put out of business perhaps in the future. I think there's a chance that automaker could roll out a stationary battery built into the vehicle and the ability to add modules as long as needed for long distance travel, so to speak. So what this would do is allow a startup or a OEM to build a affordable, let's say 25 to 30 kilowatt EV battery for an EV before incentives, of course. You're talking about 25 to $30,000 EV car. Before incentives that has a 38 to 40 kilowatt battery, providing a range of 130 to let's say 170 miles, which is more than enough for everyday driving, basically for most people. And then in the instance that maybe you want to take a road trip somewhere excess of 200 miles or more, then the car could allow for additional modules to be added and stored into the vehicle's trunk area, bringing the total kilowatt hours up to 75 or 80 miles, 80 kilowatts, to provide ranges of 260 all the way up to 300 miles of range, if needed. And that would be built something that they could put in the car, maybe like a battery module that fits in the trunk, designed in the car itself. I know Ford is talking about doing this perhaps with their electric F-150, where you can put an extra battery module in the bed of the truck that will give it extended range for long distance trips. That's what I mean, something like that, and they can put that into other vehicles. That kind of idea where you can add battery packs. Of course, you would maybe lease them or do a subscription service, so you can buy an affordable car with a certain kilowatt battery, but if you ever needed to take a trip, you would just lease it or subscribe to a battery service that the dealer may have, where they will bring the car in, install the module. Maybe it takes 30 minutes, and then you rent the module or lease the module for as long as you need it. Then you bring it back and you take it out. So I think that could be a very cool concept, but one that should have basically been implemented 5 years ago. Mainly because the charging infrastructure is really ramping up now, and cars with 40 kilowatt batteries will be able to make it across the U.S. very soon, because there are going to be charging stations every 75 miles. That's the goal anyway by 2025 going forward. So we're going to see that very, very soon. So it makes possible. Now you might have to stop a lot more with a 40 kilowatt battery that goes at maybe 170 miles. But then it's a matter of, hey, what's the ramp up speed? What's the top speed? How long can it maintain that charging speed? So if it's able to maintain a 77 to 100 kilowatt charging speed all the way up to 80% full of the battery, then that's great. Then you can have a 170 mile range battery, and when it drains down to 5% or so, it's going to ramp up really fast. So it makes your stops a lot shorter. But you still have a lot of stops with a small battery like that. But it's possible now to actually make it across from coast to coast. So I think it's very interesting, but I like the module idea. I know there are some companies in China who's thinking about this as well, but it's just another way to think about how to startups and OEMs can think other ways to provide long range to short range video vehicles without you paying for it in the cost of the vehicle, because EV adoption is the key, and bringing the cost of EVs down is the main thing, and that's what Battery Day was for Tesla, providing a battery that will eventually bring the cost down, and they'll be able to introduce a $25,000 EV car. So we'll see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, plus hit the notification buttons below to stay on top of all my new videos. Please stay tuned, and to my next video when it comes to EVs. Continue to stay focused. See you later.